Okay, good evening, everyone. We're a council meeting to special council meeting to short-term rental applications appeal hearing, February the 27th or 17th rather, sorry. I will turn to Chandra to do roll call, please.
Okay, Mayor Klopp,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Becker,
Present.
Councillor Sangster,
Present.
Councillor Groove. Oh, he's not here. Councillor Walden,
Present.
Councillor Whetstone,
Present.
and I have regrets from the other members of council this evening.
Okay, but we do have quorum. Thank you. Okay, I will now disclosure of pecuniary interest of this meeting now. Obviously, if anybody's opened up their docket, if you feel that you have a pecuniary interest, you're gonna have to let our clerk know. I don't see anything at this time, though. Opening statement, I will ask Chandra, our clerk, to read the opening statement.
My name is Chandra Alexander, the clerk of this appeal hearing. The purpose of this hearing is that during the short-term rental licensing process, a property has been denied their application for a license. The property owners have appealed this decision. This hearing is to provide council with the information they need to determine acceptance or refusal of these appeals. All questions and discussion of council, applicants, and witnesses must be contained to the subject property and the specific appeal being heard. Council will decide on the evidence before it under the provisions of the Statutory Powers Procedure Act. They will hear and receive evidence from persons involved in the appeal of the denied STR license and any witnesses. Council will render its decision in writing. The decision shall contain the reasons for the decision and will be provided to all parties or representatives who participated in the hearing. If any of the parties are not satisfied with council's decision, the decision can be appealed to a court of law. This is an oral hearing. Any written evidence or documents shall be submitted to me and entered as evidence. Anyone requesting a copy of the decision should provide me with their full name and mailing address if they've not already done so. And approximately half an hour has been allotted for this hearing.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
I don't think we got things before we came here, right?
No.
Mr. William Webb is a cousin of mine. So I have pecuniary interest. I didn't see that. I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Cousins aren't in our pecuniary interest thing, but
I have no financial or related interest. However, my great grandfather built the houses along that bank, but I don't have any business interest in this gentleman. For public statements, I just wanted to make that clear.
Oh.
So
very good for public statement.
is that acceptable? I just want to say that, sorry.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. But it's immediate family is an issue, not cousins, and maybe as we go through this, might not even sure if Mr. Webb even owns the house anymore, but fair enough. It's good to get it out that in the open, sir. We can continue.
Thank you. I just want to make that public statement. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to begin here. We are meeting today to hear a short-term rental application appeal regarding 13 Tile Street. This hearing will begin with a statement from the Manager of Development Services, including a review of the denial and the specific sections of the bylaw the denial pertains to. The applicant will then provide their statement, any evidence, and their ask of council regarding the denial. After both presentations, there will be an opportunity for questions to clarify any of the evidence submitted. Council will then make their decision or defer their decision to a future date. At this time, I will ask the applicants to identify themselves in order to confirm attendance. Applicants on the Zoom.
Dave Fort, president of Dave Fort Family Holdings, applicant.
Thank you. At this time, I will administer the oath. I'll ask the clerk to do that.
Okay, Mr. Fort, do you solemnly affirm that the evidence that you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And Aaron, Manager of Development Services, do you solemnly affirm that the evidence that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, it is.
Okay, at this time, as I stated earlier, our Aaron Stewartson, do you have any witnesses you're going to call?
I have no witnesses. I will call, Your
Okay,
worship.
state the reasons why denial.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, committee. So this application was submitted January 19th of 2026. The application was rejected on January 23rd, 2026 due to a short-term rental operating at 11 Tile Street, which is the budding property. So the property was denied under section 5.2 of the short-term rental licensing bylaw for properties abutting. Currently, Tile Street is under the maximum 15% for number of license on the street. There's 12 permitted on the street. Currently, there's 7. I have a map we'll show later. And so approximately 5 more can be added to Tile Street. The property was recently purchased by the current owners. The previous owner operated an STR and obtained licenses in 2023 and 2024, but not in 2025. 11 Tile has had licenses for the past 3 years, 2023, 2024, and 2025, and the current license will expire in July of this year. That's it from now.
Okay, at this time, I will ask the applicant to provide a statement. And first, I will ask you, are you bringing any witnesses in beside yourself, Mr. Ford?
No, just myself.
Okay, then go ahead and give your argument, sir.
Okay, thanks. First of all, I have to say I'm more nervous than I was before because I thought this was just a council meeting. I didn't realize this was just all about me. So bear with me here. First of all, I just want to thank you for your time. I want to just again, whether it's relative or not, I don't know, but outline the history of what got us to now. So my wife, who is passed away unfortunately in November, is Nancy Bauer. Her grandfather built the 11 tile pink cottage in the 1930s. So we've been a long-term family going to Bayfield, more on her side than my side, but unfortunately, when we bought this property, she was here, but unfortunately, she's no longer with us, so she can't come to speak. But the reason we did buy this property was because it was next to her grandfather's place, and actually the people that own it now, the Webbs, her dad sold it to the Webbs, I think back in the 90s or 2000s. Anyway, so we have a long history of Bayfield. So the last thing we want to do is build a place and rent it like crazy and have people all over the place. But part of our plan on buying this place was to rent it occasionally so we can pay some of the bills, but to use it ourselves most of the time. So that's kind of the history there. Our 3 points that we put in the letter on our appeal. The main point was the precedent that when we did buy this property last year, it was a short-term rental, also operated by the Webbs, who sold it to us. So we figured that, yes, we did take the existing cottage down, build a nicer, newer place, but we figured that we would still be able to obtain the license, considering it was a short-term rental property before. That was our main argument. The other argument would be that technically, the lot next door, 11 Tile, is actually comprised of 2 older lots. It is now 1 full lot, but it is the back lot. And I really don't have the plan of subdivision from 100 years ago, but we do know this because it was her grandparents' property. And then there's the front lot. So, technically we're not really next door to a rental. It's kind of splitting hairs, but it's a point anyways. And the last part was really our desire is not to get this short-term rental and rent it out constantly. We actually, for example, in the summertime, plan to use it for a month of the summer ourselves. And then any other rentals that we do will be, first of all, weekly only, and will be mostly to family and friends, unless for some reason there's a week that isn't rented and we know the person and we can vet them. Again, respecting the fact that not only is Bayfield a quiet, quaint town, but that we know the neighbors around us because, like I said, we've been going there for a long time. So, really, I guess those are our points as to why we think we should be grant. And if there's restrictions put on this, we'd be fine. If you said, hey, you can only rent it 50% of the year, I don't know whether that, if it's all or nothing, but yeah, I think those are the points we wanted to make on it.
Okay, thank you. There is a process here and there's going to be time for back and forth discussion. Okay, sir?
Okay.
So right now, do you as the applicant have any questions of the manager of development services? You heard his argument, you've given some points, but is there any specific questions you have of him?
Not really, because I think he answered it when he said his statement. Because when we did get the letter, we weren't sure if the only reason was because 11 Tile is a rental, and I think he stated that is the only reason. The street itself is not at capacity or anything like that. So, our argument on that would be, hey, last year when 13 Tile it was. Nothing's changed. It's always been beside 11 Tile and both have been rentals. And I don't want to speak for the Webbs themselves, but they're supportive of this. Hence why when they did sell the lot, they didn't want to sell it to somebody who didn't know, had no history or whatever. But they are supportive of it. And on top of it, my daughter is managing both the rentals, so she would be made sure that she follows everything applicable.
Okay, to the manager, do you have any questions of the applicant in hearing the discussion?
I do not have any I do not have any questions for the applicant.
Thank you. Okay, council, I will turn to you, including myself if I have questions, but I will, as the chair, I will look to councilors. Any questions to clarify any of the evidence presented? Councillor Whetstone.
Yeah, I got, I'm going to say 4 questions, I guess, that I have. So I just want to make sure I heard things. I was trying to make notes as we're going here as well, too. So Aaron, I think you said that there was no application for a license in 2025. Was that correct?
That is correct. So there's no current license, essentially. The 2025 would be a current license.
Okay.
And I'll just give you a reason for that is because the older building that was there had to be taken down and we had to rebuild. So we couldn't actually apply for anything until there was a building on the location.
Okay, go ahead, and then I'll turn to other councilors. Yeah, might as well get all your questions.
That answered one of my questions. It was when did you buy? And I think you mentioned that to start with in there, and that's why. So then there was a comment that was mentioned that and I was trying to understand that a little bit, where we said, and I think David, you said that it's one lot, but really it's sort of 2 lots. So I'm just trying to understand that a little bit more on that. It was 2 lots. It's been merged into one with one house on it now, or how does that? Or Aaron, can you explain?
I'm going to share GIS here for you.
Perfect.
So that you
We're going to look at a more definitive map than what we have. And
Sure.
you should be able to see it too, sir.
And it's basically not necessarily 13, it's 11 tile that is,
11, yeah.
yeah,
So.
not anymore, but it was. Yeah.
So council, if you can see my mouse there, this is 11 tile. So the way Mr. Ford's speaking is that the current house is near the rear of the property for 11 tile. And then the front, at the time when these were developed, it was probably intended for this to be another lot at the front, but it's not. It is considered all one lot. But basically what he's referring to is that the 11 tile, the dwelling is near the rear, and then 13 tile is the corner property here. And this is an older aerial photograph. There is a updated building there.
Right. Yeah, that's the old building that's there. And just again, just because we have the Bayfield history. So the reason that it was like that was because there used to be a road. Tile Street was where it was, but there was actually a road on the other side. So the lots kind of actually face two separate roads, but as erosion took away the road and now taken away the cliff, the only entrance to that property was to come off a tile. So I think they actually merged two properties plus some subsections of another property in order to be able to get that access in there. But yeah.
And there's only one house on that property, right?
11 tile, correct. The
There's
front-
nothing up at the front.
Correct. Only one at 11.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, so my last question I have then too is, so both they're side by side, and I assume 11 and 13, and I know I'm using the wrong word here, and so if you can correct me as well too. Those two have been short-term rentals for a while now, let's put it that way.
Correct.
And they would have been part of and I'm going to use the word grandfather, which is the wrong word, I know, but they would have been grandfathered in as being side by side was okay, because if that's the only reason they could have ever been side by side.
Yep. There were original SDRs to when the bylaw came into effect. So they were existing at the time.
At the time, and that's why they're still there. Okay, that's good. That's all I have right now. Thanks.
Oh, I do have a question now. I didn't know the bylaw changed. When did it change?
Regarding what, sir?
Where you couldn't have two side by side.
It was always in our rules, but the very first year that we put in this program, we made it a conscious choice. We weren't going to tell one person could get a license and one couldn't. If everybody that applied back the year before, we treated them, we didn't look to see if they were side by side. We
Okay.
use the word grandfathering for lack of a better word, but I think you can appreciate it, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
I see. So this bylaw is fairly new then, is what you're saying?
It's third year.
Third, fourth year.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And everybody had to apply, just so you know, everybody has to apply every year for a permit. So,
That much I knew. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because we've had some come in and said, I didn't realize I had to apply, and anybody can come for appeals. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah.
So, okay, is there there could be more questions? I think your colleagues will allow you.
I do have one more now, based on the conversation. And so when you went to purchase this, was there discussion around short-term license?
There was a discussion around, yes, that's what we wanted to do. And we did know that we had to apply for it, and we did know, we just didn't know when I thought this bylaw was older. We didn't do a lot of research into to say how long this bylaw has been around or anything like that. Just that, well, they were both short-term rentals before, so us putting a better rental on it should be fine. But yeah. Our bigger worry, I think we knew about the percentage on the street, and that we didn't know. We just assumed that because both had a rental a license before, that there was room and capacity on the street.
Okay. I have a question on clarification if my colleagues haven't got anything right now. We have a map here, and it shows the denial. And the denial is on this map you have could you put a mark on which house we're looking at is in denial?
This one right here.
That one right there?
Correct.
Where is the house that has got
Immediately to the north. This one here. This
that
property.
one there?
Yeah.
One at the back, yeah.
Okay, now you made a comment, sir, and I'm looking at this map. That house's addresses, it looked like they were on Devlin Street. If it looks,
Yes. That was also a strange thing for us, but we thought it was going to be on, if we say Delavan, but if it's Devlin, that it was going to be there because the entranceway was on there. When we put in the building permit, we made our entrance off a tile. So we actually had to close those two Delavan entrances down. So.
okay. So that's where you get a bit of the argument here that you've used, that you use the word technicality, while
Right.
11 may appear, 13, etc. And when you built your new house, where were you going to put the entrance?
We were actually going to keep both entrances, but that we also, when applying for the building permit, found out that in Bayfield, you're not allowed to have two driveway entrances. I think it's a newer bylaw, I think. So we had to close the other two down and
But-
only keep the Tile Street entrance. So.
When you purchased the property, was there I'm going to call it an entrance on both streets?
No, there was two entrances on Delavan. If you see in this, when we purchased the property, what you see in this picture is what we purchased.
Oh, so your entrances when you bought the property were on a different street,
Correct. Yeah.
and your address is what when you go to the post office?
It's 13 Tile, but
It's 13 Tile, but historically the entrances were off the other.
correct. If you look in this picture, the building at the back, where the 13 is numbered, that was the old garage. It's now transferred over to 9 Tile because that we bought the property off of the Webbs, and they wanted to keep the garage and the bunkie that was back there, so they moved it over to 9 Tile. And then we took the old building down.
Okay,
I know it gets complicated.
where is 9?
2 over. So
Okay,
Right.
that's a directional gate. It
Yeah.
starts, okay, it's way over.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So Aaron, I do have a question. I want to make sure I understand everything that's happening here as well too. So, okay. So if the property would have remained, if the property would have had the entrances off of Delavan, the address was Delavan then at that time?
So no, the address always has been 13 Tile.
Okay, that's what I.
Yeah, it always has been 13 Tile. So, but if the address was off of Delavan, it still would have met the abutting rules. So it still would have been denied because it's a new one.
Okay, any counselors, any further questions to the applicant or to the? I guess I just have one. I'll go ahead. We've established where your house is on the corner. The one that the building that's to the closer to the lake,
Mm-hmm.
is that part of your property or is that someone else's?
That's someone else. They've been there. I think this is the 40s. I can't remember their names.
And how do they get to their property?
Off of Delavan. I think that's why it says 41 there. I think their official address must be Delavan, I would guess, and not Tile
Okay.
Street.
Okay. All right, that helps me out a little bit. Thank you. Is there anybody else have any more questions to our applicants? Okay, go ahead. Anybody? Go ahead.
You've asked the questions I had in my mind because where the X is, I thought it was coming off of Delavan Street and would have been a different entrance. but he had to change his entrance location to accommodate the new house.
Yeah. And the address itself.
But I think we established the address always was on tile for the last 50 years, maybe, or whatever. Okay. Alrighty. Is there, is council ready to give an order on the short-term rental application appeal for discussion? Anyone wish to make a motion and then for debate? For or against? Councilor Whitstone?
I'll make the motion, based on the information that has been provided. I mean, I think it's obvious we're trying to find a way to make this work. But in my mind, just based on the evidence that's there, the address has always been there, regardless. And I think we'd be setting a precedent if all of a sudden we were allowing, people that are purchasing homes, and I know we've turned people down before that have purchased a house thinking that it was a short-term rental, and then having to apply and not being able to do that at the time as well too. So, and unfortunately, this isn't the first time, and nothing against David on this now too, where people are not doing their homework when it comes to the short-term rental bylaw when they're going to purchase the property at the time. So in saying that, I'm going to make a motion that we deny the application.
Is there a seconder for that motion? Councilor Walden? Further discussions on the motion? This is to deny. Go ahead.
Just to clarify with the mover, so when there is a motion to deny, it has to be for one of the reasons within the bylaw. So I just wanted to confirm that it's due to the abutting, that it's an abutting premises.
And that then concurs with the seconder. Any comments, councillors? Yeah, well, well, you'll see by my vote, I guess, but to be fair to the applicant, I could see an argument that you were on another street, but when it came to my attention that property address was always Tile Street, that is an interesting angle because we have had, if you look back, that has been the reason that we've allowed. They happen to be on another street, but that's an address. So I have to concur with the argument, and I will be voting to deny also. You'll see when we call the vote. Any other comments, councillors? Seeing none, are we ready to call the vote then? Okay, I will ask for, is this a record? No.
It doesn't have to be, it's up to.
It's up to, for all those in favor of the denial, please raise your hand. 1, 2, and against. The denial is carried. It was a 4-1, sir, since you're not here right now. Okay. Now, this concludes our meeting. If you wish to receive a copy of this decision in writing, please ensure you have it registered with the clerk. This hearing is now adjourned at
5:59.
5:59 p.m. Thank you, sir, for coming out and talk to the clerk on any clarifications.